Hello viewers, welcome to Lata's Art of Cooking. It's summertime, so let's make something interesting. So what's it I'm going to prepare for today? It's nothing, it's ice cream. Okay, this first I'm going to make the ice cream base. For that I have, okay, first of all let me show the measurement spoons. This is a tablespoon, it's a 1 tablespoon. This is the half tablespoon measurement, and this is the 1/4 teaspoon measurement. Okay, so I've taken 8 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 tablespoon of corn flour, 1.5 tablespoon of GMS powder. What is GMS powder? Okay, this is what is GMS powder. You'll get it in any of the grocery shops or online. It looks like this. It's just like a powder. It's an emulsifier. So emulsifier means it helps in mixing both the solid and the liquid agents together, and it's a thickening agent. It'll increase the volume. So I'm going to make ice cream for half liter of milk, but ultimately when the ice cream is done, you will have at least 1.5 to 2 liters of ice cream. So that's how it helps. It helps in increasing the volume, and then also it makes your ice cream soft and creamy, the one like how you get it in the markets. So that is what is the GMS. And next, so I'll be using 1.5 tablespoon of GMS powder, and the next one is CMC powder. This is how it is, CMC powder. This also you can get it in any grocery or an online shop. And for this we'll be using in very less quantity, which is 1/4 of the teaspoon. This is the quantity that I'll be using on a CMS powder. CMS powder is a stabilizer, and it helps in maintaining the form it is. So like how like you make it as an ice cream and a creamy ice cream, so it will help in maintaining it in that creamy form. And then it's a preservator, and it will prevent the ice from forming, crystallizing of the ice. I hope I have explained it. So that's what. So in total it will help in making our ice cream creamy, soft, like how you get it in the market. So that's what is CMS, and I'll be using only 1/4 of it. And then you need to mix all these ingredients in a cold milk or even water. So I'm just adding all this. So let me mix this before the video runs too long. Never mix this as CMC or a GMS powder in a hot water or a hot milk. Always mix it in a cold liquid. There might be some disturbance because kids are all at home, so so sorry if there is disturbance in the video. Okay, now there's no lumps in it, and it has become it come to a smooth texture. Now let's go to the next process of heating the milk. So here I have half liter of full fat milk. So make sure that you also use the full fat milk, so you'll get a more tastier ice cream. So let's go to the heating milk. Heat the milk. So as mentioned in my previous video, whenever you are going to boil the milk, please ensure that you coat the vessel with some cold water. So the milk won't get stuck at the bottom. I'll be just heating it for just one boil. Okay. I've added the sugar also now. It's well heated now, and the sugar also melted. So now I think it's time to add the slurry which we have prepared. Let's lower it and then we add, because we have added corn flour to this. And then immediately start stirring it. Okay, this should be done now. I'm switching off the flame and then just allow it to cool down. And once this is cooled down, then we'll be setting it in the refrigerator. This is the base for the ice cream. Only after this, we'll be adding the flavors and the colors that you desire. Yeah. So ice cream base is fully now cooled down. I'm just going to whip it in for a minute in the mixer, so it will give more creamier texture. By whipping this ice cream mixture, if there is any lumps formed during the boiling of milk, that will get eradicated, and there will be air incorporated into the mixture, so it will give more, your ice cream will be more creamier. So now I'm going to just close this and keep it in the freezer for say 4 to 5 hours, and then we'll do the remaining process. Our ice cream base is getting set. Let's make some caramel crunchy for the decoration purpose, so especially for the butterscotch flavor, and I'm going to prepare a butterscotch flavor also. So for that I've taken half a cup of sugar, some crushed cashew nuts, and for flavor I've taken the butterscotch flavor. So first let's heat the pan and then add the sugar. Okay, now I've also laid up this parchment paper. So once this is the sugar caramelized is done, we'll be spreading it on this parchment paper. In case if you do not have a parchment paper, you can just spread some grease your plate and then spread it on it. Okay, so let's heated and then greased my pan so that the sugar doesn't get stuck at the bottom. Just a tip, in case if you have problem with the ants in your house, and due to which it gets into your sugar also, so you can just add a couple of clove to it, so it won't come. My pan is in a low flame and I'm just letting this sugar melt, and until it gets melt, do not touch it. After melting, we'll be adding the cashews. The sugar has started to caramelize now. Yes. Stir it in between once it starts caramelizing, and then let's wait for it to come to this consistency. This sugar is very hot, so you have to be very careful with your hands. I have burned once or twice, I guess. As our sugar is getting melted, I'm just adding few drops of flavor. The sugar is fully melted now. It's time to add the cashews. Then let's spread it out. Switch off the flame and then spread it out. Because it solidifies very fast, so as soon as you pour in, just spread it out. And now let's leave it for it to cool down completely. Okay, our crunchies are all done. Let's take it out. See you can see my hands, it's so transparent. That just shows that the sugar was really very good. So just break them into small pieces. And then you can either put it into a mixer jar and just whip it, crush it into smaller particles, or you can just put it in a Ziploc. So I'm going to put it in a Ziploc and then crush this. slowly crush it. You can just store this in any airtight containers and use them whenever you are making any desserts or ice creams. And kids love to eat it as it is. Just look at this. You can even break it into furthermore smaller pieces. Hope this is nice. So let's move on to the ice cream process. I left my ice base in freezer overnight. Now just let's scrape this out because, and after that we'll be whipping it. So let me just cut it out because it's so hard. Scraped it. I'm going to transfer into a larger bowl because this won't be sufficient for me to whip this bowl. And all this I had kept it in the freezer overnight, and even my tools. And if you see, you know, this beneath I had put some water which has become an ice. So when you're whipping it, it'll retain the coolness and it won't get hotter. And so this will give a even better texture. So I'm just going to add it into this. My vessel might look foggy because it was kept in the freezer overnight. So I'm just adding this. To start with, I'll be moving in a slower pace, and then I'll be increasing the speed. Crush this a little with the spoon because it's too hard and it's jumping out. You can just crush it. This is all crumbled now, it's ready to go. Volume is increasing. Probably you can't hear my voice because of the noise of the smaker. I'll be beating it for another 5 to 7 minutes. See the creamy texture now? Just 2 more minutes and then that should be done now. And you can see that volume is also increased to 2 to 3 folds now. Okay, this is now done. I'm going to remove half of this and I'll be giving a flavor of butterscotch for that. And the remaining half I'll be maintaining in a vanilla flavor. So let's remove half of this first. 1/3 of the portion I've taken in this box, and I'll be adding some vanilla essence. So half a teaspoon, and the remaining I've set aside for my butterscotch flavor because I like butterscotch more. And this is some chocolate chips I've added. If you don't have chocolate chip, you can just take some chocolate and then cut it into bits and then add it. vanilla ice cream is done. Now let's move on to the butterscotch. It goes into the freezer, and now I'll get the remaining portion for the butterscotch flavor. This is the remaining 2/3 portion, into which I'm going to add half, or say 1/4 teaspoon of yellow color and half a teaspoon of butterscotch flavor. Now let's whip this. I'm just adding the crunchies, the caramel crunchies which we had made a while ago. I'm just going to add into this. And this will give a crunchy texture while you're having the ice cream. And now I have to whip this. This is all done. Now let's transfer this into another bowl. Okay, I've transferred it into this bowl, and then I'll decorate with some more crunchies. And this also goes into the set. I'm ready to melt into our mouth. And if you remember, when I made, I only had say half of this, not even half of, 1/3 of this bowl. And now I have this whole bowl. It's quite a large bowl, and this half. So 1.5 bowl I've got, and this is somewhere around 1.5 to 2 liters, somewhere in between. So this is the quantity I've got. So let's plate it and see the creamy ice cream.